Hey guys, Scott here. Welcome to Koala Teatime podcast. Oh, here's a dog right here. This is River. River, say hello. Anyway, so yeah. So I currently do not have a computer, which means I can't do the podcast live, so I can't get your lovely questions as we go along. But if you have any requests of things you want me to talk about in the podcast, music, personal related, then just leave them down in the comments below. I'll have a look at it and I'll try to answer them in next week's podcast. So thanks very much. So yeah, man. So it's been another busy week for me in music. We started doing soundproofing last week, and I talked about it a little bit in last week's podcast. But we've been soundproofing my music studio we're building in the back garden, putting in 12.5mm acoustic plasterboards, and yeah, last Friday we got to test it out finally. Once it was all in, we got in there with a snare drum and started banging around to see whether we'd be able to hear it outside. We could, and so it wasn't as airtight and as soundproofed as we hoped it would be, you know. So that's an issue. And I think the guys were a bit disappointed. I was disappointed that it wasn't 100% soundproof. However, it's there's lots of things that we've got coming up that are going to help to soundproof it even further. So part of it is that sound is getting through little cracks. It's getting through air holes, through the door mostly. So we've got to seal those up. That's job number one. Job number two is we're having carpet and underlay put in next week, and this underlay, it's a soundproofing underlay, so that's going to help keep out some sound as well. So that's going to really help. Then we've got the electrics coming in the following day. And that's going to fill up a lot of the holes that are there. A lot of sounds escaping through the holes where plugs and things like that need to go. So once that in, that's going to help a lot. However, I'm aware that maybe we put that in and it doesn't work the way I hope it will. So I've been thinking about what are the alternatives. And so there's another alternative is to build another room inside of that room, and the place gets smaller. And so that is an option. I don't want it to get there, and money is slowly, evaporating as we speak. So that we've got limited funds for what we can still do. So what I'm looking at is getting some acoustic blankets, which are good, which can cancel out about 7 to 10 dB of sound. And so I'm looking to get these acoustic blankets hung up around the walls and along the ceilings to help diffuse some sounds. If the carpet and covering up the electrics doesn't do enough, we'll do that in, because I've looked it up and it's about, I believe, about 35 dB of sound is what's kind of like publicly acceptable, and I don't want to annoy my neighbours. I don't want the business to get shut down, so it has to be soundproof. Plus, it needs to be able to keep out the sound of airplanes going overhead, I mean, at the moment, when you stand inside the studio, stand inside the shed, it's definitely quieter. It's really peaceful when you go in there, actually. I mean, it's completely pitch black dark, but it's really peaceful, really soothing, because it cuts out a lot of sound already thanks to the insulation. And the plasterboard, it's not blocking out all sound, so there's still a way to go. So acoustic blankets might be next, and if that doesn't work, not sure what we're going to do. But one of the big things that we need is a new computer, because a couple of weeks back, my laptop broke. I tried to get it fixed. First place said it's irreparable. Second place said, oh, we can save the memory, but the laptop itself is kaput. So with that, I was like, I'm going to contact my friend Tom, because he puts computers together, and I was going to contact him like that night, and he contacted me first, which was like, whoa, that's crazy. I mean, we talk every 6 months, so it was sort of like, yeah, coincidence? I don't know. Meant to happen? Maybe. And so we got in contact, and I said, hey man, like, my computer's bust, can you help me put one together? So I went up to New Malden to see him yesterday to chat about it and start putting it together. And I didn't know whether we were gonna literally like get parts together and build it ourselves, like Lego or something, or whether we were going to like pick the parts of the computer. Turns out it was the latter. So I got up to New Malden to see him, and if you don't know where New Malden is, it's a few stops away from London Waterloo, so it's just outside of central London essentially. So I went up to New Malden to see him, and we hung out, had a jam. Gave me some homemade cookies he made. Oh my word, man, these cookies were amazing. Right, I had dark chocolate in them, and honestly, I'm not a dark chocolate fan. I don't know about you guys. Are you dark chocolate fans, or are you milk chocolate fans? Let me know in the comments below. I'm not normally a milk chocolate guy, but the way he did these cookies, oh man, it was so good. So good. I was thinking about them on the train ride home. But anyway, I got to his, we sat down at his computer, and he's got all the fancy computer tech, man. And we went on this site, I think it was called PCPartPicker.com, something around that, some very alliterative title around the word PC, and he went through and he was like, oh, I think you're gonna need one of these, and basically he digitally assembled the computer on this website and checked that everything would work together, and then he was like, right, all you need to do is order it. I was like, whoa, that was quick. And so that was really cool. So yeah, you sort of like digitally put your computer together, and so I just got to order it and he's going to come assemble it for me, and then boom, I can start recording music again using Cubase, doing my live stream podcasts. Yeah, it's going to be great. And the computer itself, I thought it was going to be one of these titchy little desktop kind of setups, but it's this massive beast. So man, I'm excited to get my hands on this. So that's my job for tomorrow. I'm going to order all those parts and get that done and out of the way. And the site's great because it tells you the best place to get each part, like which site has the part you want for the cheapest. So that was really cool. So yeah, it's going to cost me just around £580 for the whole thing, and then it'll cost me a little bit extra to get like a keyboard and a mouse and all that. But yeah, for that amount, you know, that this thing is going to be, it's going to be a beast of a computer, and it's going to be the heart of the recording studio. So yeah, man, things are working out. Things are working out, and there's a lots happened this last week. What else should we say, man? Yeah, I had my first gig of the year last night. It was a little slot in Guildford in Surrey, and it was just a 4-song set, and it was at a pub called the Britannia that I've played multiple times over the last few years, and it's run by a guy called Gavin, and Gavin's awesome, man. He's a really cool guy, and he puts on these nights at the Britannia and another night at a place called the King's Head, and yeah, he just always has just absolutely just awesome acts playing. And so whenever I play, I'm just like wowed by like the talent that he finds for these things. And then there's me. And I'm alright, I guess. Yeah, so I was I was debating in my head before I went on, what am I going to play? It's been a while since I've played, and I've written a couple of new songs over Christmas while I've been resting up and chilling out. Should I play some of those? Are they ready yet? Just like going back and forth in my head. And part of it is just, I always try to read the room when I get to a venue. I try to read the room and feel like, what would this crowd like? What would I like to do? How do we meet in the middle? You know, because with my songs, some of them are a bit more, whimsical and kind of humorous. And then some of them are not as humorous, but they're, catchy, I guess. And so when I do a longer set, I mix the two of them up and blend it in for a nice tasty stew with lots of different flavours as we go along. But with a 4-song set, you just need to just knock it out of the park, and I think go for just one solid feeling, because you haven't got a lot of time to establish the taste in people's mouths. So I was like, right, I'm just gonna go for the whimsical, funny ones, and I had people laughing in each song, which was really cool. And it's still like a new sensation to see people laughing on songs, because I didn't try writing kind of almost semi-comedic songs. That was never my intention. But now but now I'm playing these songs, writing these songs, and playing these songs, and people are laughing at them, and it's really cool, man. It's really cool. It goes towards the whole thing I was saying, where I want people to have lots of different reactions when they see me playing. Like, there's a song off my second album called New Zealand that I've played at a few gigs, and I've had a couple of girls in the audience cry hearing the song, and it was just like, oh my word, like, that's an amazing reaction to get out of someone. That's and it's a very bittersweet kind of love song, and so it's to be able to get that reaction out of someone's great. What I want to do is I want to be able to play a set where I see people smile, I see them cry, and I see them laugh all in the same set, and I know that I've really, really knocked it out of the park. I really want to just give people the whole range of emotions during my set, and not just laughter. So it's getting the balance of that. It's tricky, and it just takes gigging and gigging and gigging, refining the songs that you choose to play. So yeah, man, I've got a proper full-on gig next Saturday. Not next Saturday, next Friday in Newbury, up in Berkshire. So yeah, can expand on the set, maybe try out some of the new stuff there. That's probably the best place to do it, where it's sort of tucked away between the more songs I'm more confident with. So yeah, but YouTube's also great for that. I tried the new one out the other week called Holding Out for a 10. I put that up last week, and that got a lot of hits and lots of lovely comments. So thank you for the comments. I really appreciate that, because it really it's immediate feedback on a new song. It's great. It's like, okay, this people like this part of it. So yeah, thank you for everyone who commented on Holding Out for a 10 and told me what you thought. Because of your comments, I very nearly played it last night, but I didn't in the end, because I just decided to go with the familiar bangers. Man. So there's been a couple of other things that have happened this week, but as I said, I recorded this podcast right before I shot this one, and so I think we'll leave it there. So thank you very much for watching. Stay awesome, have a great week, and see you next time. Peace.